Hi everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day today. Today we are going to be discussing hanging plants for a Waterwise garden. It is that time of the season where you go to the store and you see all types of beautiful annuals in pots that hang beautifully and just are so colorful. But I am so tempted to buy these, but I know that if I buy them, they will die a swift and not so pretty death, because plants, annuals, need a lot of maintenance. They need to be watered almost every day. They need to be given food, vitamin, and just maintained a lot during the season. And I really don't want that in my garden. I want a garden that I can just set and forget, pretty much. That I go out there and just weed it and water it occasionally, and just give it the love that a garden needs, but not something that needs so much attention. So I wanted to make this video to share with you guys the hanging plants that I have in my garden that are water-wise, that are easily adapted to zone 9, which is, our temperatures can go as low as 32 degrees Fahrenheit or up to about 110, 112. So plants have to be very resilient, and yeah, what I want is that carefree garden. Okay, so let's get started here, and here you're seeing the burro's tail or donkey tail, and this is a sedum, and I featured it many times before in videos, and this one's a great one. It hangs beautifully. It grows very dense. You do have to restart it from time to time though. I have seen videos of this one being like super long, but I mean those are for climates that are not as extreme as ours. This one though, in my zone 9, I have to restart it. But the good thing when you have to restart a plant is that you can make other plants. You can separate it and propagate. Same thing with this Senecio. The string of bananas or fishhook plant. This one is awesome to restart. It's a great hanging plant, and it's just a little bit finicky as far as sun. It doesn't like to be in the hot sun. It will take morning sun and do fantastically, but if you have it in a bright spot, that's where I think it thrives and it becomes very full. You're seeing these, they look a bit blue and a little bit stressed, but this is a brand new one that I had cut, and it's had just inserted them in dry soil, and I was waiting for it to root. So this is what it looks like. I wanted to show you guys that it takes on like bluish color, but otherwise it's very green. Okay, the next one here coming up is a sedum. And sedums are great to not only as ground covers, but also to add to your pots or to your garden. They will take over if you let them though. So I think in a container it's best, because you can actually control the growth. And these are perennials, so they die back in the winter, and you can cut them and then they will come back in spring. And sometimes the perennials, you can keep them kind of alive, but they start looking a little bit sparse and woody, like this one here. This one is barely coming back. This one is in my bird bath. Okay, this one, the ice plant, another beauty. And this one is also a perennial, and it is a beautiful plant, very lush, very green. And this one, it could be a ground cover too, but it hangs beautifully in a pot. And again, this one, you can control it. You can control the spread of it so that it doesn't take over your garden if you put it in a pot, and it just hangs beautifully. But again, it's a perennial, so if you want to keep this one, you're going to have to cut it back or maintain it in a place where it doesn't get harsh temperature during the winter. This VG, this Lampranthus, is such a awesome little plant. It is kind of weird to looking to me. It looks kind of like those mimicry, like the stone plants, but it's very little, and it actually makes a great accent plant for bowls to combine them with others. Just the color that it has, that pale blue color, is striking, and it goes so well with so many succulents. So this is a great one to put as an accent plant in your pot arrangements so that it hangs a bit. And it also, the plus, it gives off these beautiful, beautiful purple or pink flowers. Okay, this one you might not think of it as a hanging plant per se, but it is. This is a geranium, and like this genus here, there's certain ones that hang even more. But if you keep these in a pot, they will eventually spill over the pot, and they look beautifully. And you can hang them, or you can put them in a pot, you know, on your porch, and they give you a pop of color throughout the year, especially spring. And I really don't fertilize my plants a lot. Maybe I'll give them a little bit of Miracle Grow during the growing season in spring, but other than that, that's all I do for my cacti and my succulents. Okay, here you're seeing the chocolate fingers, and the chocolate fingers, another ground cover. But if you put it in a pot as an accent to another plant, it just spills over the rim and makes a beautiful, beautiful plant. And this one here, this is a cutie. This is the variegated, the elephant bush. And this one is just so versatile and so beautiful, because you can actually train this one to grow it kind of in a little bush. But you can also, depending on how you plant it, you can go ahead and have it hanging like here. I have it in a pot that spills over. But yeah, it's got these long stems that allow it to be used in many ways. Senecio. This is one of my favorites, but it is very finicky. The string of pearls, string of figs. This one can be tricky because it tends to get mealybug if it gets too full, and it likes just the right amount of light and temperature. It doesn't like the cold, it doesn't like the hot. I called it my Goldilocks, but look at the beautiful little blooms that smell like cinnamon. And it is just a beautiful plant to use again. Just a few strands in your pots, and it just beautifies your arrangement. Look at this, how pretty. You can also put it just on top of a pedestal or a candlestick like this, and display the beautiful, beautiful long strings, and just enjoy it. This one you wouldn't think of it as a hanging plant, but it's a cactus, and it's called a rat's tail. And this one here, you just have to be very careful where you place it, of course, because it has those little spines that if they get into your skin, you're gonna need some tweezers and a magnifying glass to get them out of your skin, because it is treacherous. But it is so interesting and beautiful. Mine hasn't bloomed yet, but it gives off these beautiful flowers. And when it's long, it does hang, spill over, and it could get like 2-3 feet in length. So imagine that, but this is a weapon. So you have to be very careful. Okay, the Crassula, the watch chain Crassula. This one again, beautiful. It's more like a bush, but it does tend to spill over. It has a tendency to go over the rim and spill over when it's grown. And this one again, just watch it, because mealybug loves it because it's so dense from the center. Just be very careful with the watering. Keep it on a strict watering schedule, and it should be fine. And here you're seeing how the arms spill over, and this one's a great one too, to just cut off a piece, put it in another arrangement, and you know, it just gives it a pop of green. Now I wanted to show you guys this one. I've never really featured it too much in my garden because this one, someone gave me a little cutting and it just, I'm barely trying to take it off. They gave it to me last year though. And it's been doing okay. I've been placing it in the sun. I've been taking it out of the sun. I've been moving it around to see where it does well. And it's a finicky plant, believe it or not. It says that it likes sun, at least 6 hours of sun, but I find that it doesn't. I find that it likes bright light and some morning sun. That's how it does best. So I put it in a hanging area because this one is poisonous to pets. They give off a little flower that, yeah, they could be pretty harmful to animals if they eat it. So it's best to keep it high. I have it in a hanging container. Epiphyllums. This one is very common. You've known it probably as the Easter cactus or Christmas cactus. And this one, look at the color. Oh my goodness, it's so vibrant. And they call it that because it blooms in those dates. It tends to bloom. And this one spills over. And I've never actually propagated this one, but it's got little flat kind of arms that you can just cut at the rib, where it joins, and let it callus and then stick it back in the dirt. And they say they're very easy to propagate, so I might try that one day. But so far I just have this one and it's doing so well that I don't even want to touch it. But yeah, you see where it has the little where it joins the other little leaf, that's where you go ahead and cut it. This one here, the peanut cactus. This one I bought as little, they were 1 inch when I received them. And I potted them and I thought, well, they're never going to grow. But this is a weird one because it doesn't grow too dense from the top. It just grows long, just long. And if you see, it has some knuckles, and the knuckles sprout off other arms. So that's interesting. I'm going to have to play with this one and kind of cut it at the knuckles and stick it back in the dirt so that it gets a little bit fuller in the pot. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here you're seeing ways that I display my beautiful plants here. And again, they don't have to be hanging from the ceiling. You can put them in bird baths. You can put them on pedestals. You can just add them to your pot. You know, just a few of the arms hanging over, spilling over, accent your combinations beautifully. So just remember, play with the colors, and these are great because, again, these are water-wise. They're easy to work with. They're easy to propagate. And this is why succulents are so wonderful in your garden and accent any beautiful garden. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and welcome to all the new subscribers. I will talk to you guys later.